What's with all these different aspect ratios, and which one should you use? Hey everyone, Camber here, back with you, and today we're talking about the various aspect ratios that you can use for your videos. And if you're new here, this channel is all about teaching you how to use your camera to make good videos. So if that's you, consider subscribing. Now, aspect ratios may seem a little confusing at first when you hear things like 4:3 or 16:9, 2.35:1. Well, there's not a one-size-fits-all with aspect ratios, so let's look at the various aspect ratios and times when each one may be appropriate. First off, the aspect ratio refers to the width of a picture or screen in relation to its height. For example, a 4:3 ratio means the picture is 4 units wide by 3 units high, or 16:9 means it's 16 units wide by 9 units high. But instead of using an X, a colon is typically used, like 4:3 or 16:9, or a ratio to the number 1, like 1.33 to 1 or 1.78 to 1. Now it's important to note that the physical size of the image is irrelevant because we're looking at the ratio of the width times the height. And that's where aspect ratio is different from resolution, which is the physical size of your image. 720, 1080, and 4K can all have the same aspect ratio of 16:9. They're simply more pixels with each larger resolution, making a bigger overall image. And if this all seems a little confusing, just check out this video I made here about 4K video to help you better understand how video resolutions work. But once again, when we're talking about aspect ratios, this refers only to the relationship of the width to the height of your videos. 16:9 is one of the most common aspect ratios now because most TVs are built off this, videos taken on your phone are typically in this format, and it's what you see on just about every online video nowadays. 2.35 to 1 is typically known as the widescreen ratio, and this is what you see in a lot of films nowadays. And because we're used to seeing it in films, using this aspect ratio can give your footage more of a cinematic feel. And one of the things I really like about the Sony cameras is that they offer a marker you can display on your screen so that even though you're shooting and recording at the 16:9 format, you can see what it'll look like at widescreen and frame your image properly based on that, so that when you're editing, you can add those letterboxes to make it look like that widescreen feel. And this also works at the 4:3 format. And speaking of 4:3, because it's an older format that was used for decades, it's a great aspect ratio to use if you're wanting to get a throwback feel, like this video I made a few years back where I wanted to have a really old home video type feel to it. Well, our now common 16:9 aspect ratio was a direct compromise between the 4:3 standard aspect ratio and the cinematic widescreen of 2.35 to 1. Pretty much in the middle mathematically between those two most commonly used aspect ratios. And for that reason, it was picked as the new standard for the HD TVs and the digital screens that were coming out then. And the reason the 16:9 aspect ratio works so well is because you can simply crop in the 4:3 aspect ratio with these pillar boxes, or you could crop in the widescreen 2.35 with the letterboxes without any warping or distorting of your images. And this was an easy fix for adapting film to the new digital screens because it worked equally well both ways. And as higher resolution screens came about, like 720, 1080 or 4K, this was only changing the size of your video, not the format, so you have more pixels to see, which gives you a much richer viewing experience. Now, a new format that's coming about that I probably never really would have considered a few years ago is vertical video. Now, many filmmakers would probably tell you that shooting in vertical video is just wrong, and I tend to agree. I don't really like the way it looks. However, with everyone having their own phones now and shooting videos this way and sharing on Facebook and Instagram, and more people are consuming content on the internet this way, there could definitely be a future in it. However, I don't ever really see a feature-length film being made in vertical video format. But anyways, just figure out which aspect ratio works the best for you based on the look and feel you're going for in your video and make it happen. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and let me know down below if you have any more questions about aspect ratios. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and remember that the only way to get better at something is to practice. So get out there and film something. See you soon.